Hey guys, it's Brentman117. Welcome back to the channel and my review of the Mega Construx Halo Infinite set GVP42 Hijacked Ghost. The set comes with 123 pieces, 4 figures and 4 weapons, as well as the Hijacked Ghost. It's a continuation of the 2-in-1 build line, and the alternate build for this set is a small banished turret. While the alternate builds don't tend to be for me, I do appreciate the added value they give to the set for those that are inclined to rebuild their sets over and over again and like to learn new building techniques. This set retails at just shy of $15 and in some regards was a pleasant surprise, and in others, unfortunately, a bit of a disappointment. So let's get into this and find out what I liked and disliked about this set. We're going to start off by taking a look at the 2 Grunt figures. The first Grunt is the Grunt Conscript, which we saw in the Skiff Intercept set. But this time he comes with a red plasma pistol, which is a nice touch. The second Grunt we get is the Grunt Imperial, which came with the Defense Point Showdown set, and again comes with a red plasma pistol. Now, in general terms, I'm very pleased with these figures because I do like the Grunts, the current style of Grunt, and I think they're doing a great job by putting many of these in the sets. It really allows you to amass an army very easily. The disappointment comes with the Grunt Imperial. There's 2 issues with it. One, the red paintwork on his helmet is a completely different colour to the body armour. Now, I know we do often see colour variations between helmets and body armour, but this is the worst I've ever seen it. It's practically pink compared to red. Now, I'm not sure what happened there, and it's not the end of the world. The other issue was for the first time I personally experienced the issue with the neck ball joint being too tight. It popped on relatively easily, but then you couldn't move it. If you tried to move it side to side, it just twisted the neck shaft, and I could see it was definitely going to break. So I had to pop the helmet back off and basically try and sand it down a little bit to be able to make it move. Otherwise, 1 or 2 attempts of twisting it and you're just going to snap that neck shaft right off. So possibly a one-off, as it's the first time I've experienced that, and hopefully I won't experience it again. Other than those 2 issues, I'm really pleased with both of these figures. Now, moving on to the Brute, this is basically the same Brute that you see in the Skiff Intercept as well, except for his armor's slightly different. He's just got the 1 thigh armor piece, and then he's got the 1 red shoulder armor piece, but that makes all the difference because it's red. Now, I've got no problem with that at all. I think these Brutes are great army builders, and when you stand the Brute Warrior with the red shoulder pad against the rest of the more standard Brutes, he really stands out and could be a captain or something like that. So again, really pleased with that and would happily buy more of these sets to amass that piece of armor and those Brutes. I did have an issue with the Brute Warrior as well when trying to assemble it. This was the same for the Spartan as well. Trying to get the hip joint into the torso was so difficult. I couldn't do it with my fingers. I had to push the body down onto the workbench, and even then it didn't really click in. It eventually forced its way in. And then the final issue with the Brute was the chest armor is incredibly loose. It wanders around all over the place, which isn't the end of the world if you're just playing with these figures, but if you want to use them for any kind of stop motion or anything like that, it's far too loose. You need the armor to stay in one place, so it's almost as if it's just slightly too big compared to the Spartan armor, which fits absolutely perfect. And finally, moving on to the Spartan Anubis, this is the first one I've received, and again, what would otherwise be an incredibly detailed, perfect little minifigure was been let down by a poor paint application on the helmet. I don't know if this is just a bad run, but the paint application on the helmet is clearly a different colour and far too thin. It was as if it needed a second coat and it just didn't get it. If you can look past how thin the paint is and the colour difference, the actual application is pin sharp. It's absolutely incredible, one of the best I've seen. So in one respect it's absolutely perfect, but in the other it's just been let down by possibly needing that second or third coat. So overall, in regards to figure selection, couldn't be happier. A great bunch of figures. They all look absolutely fantastic from afar. It's just a shame that they've all got these little niggles, which is something that I haven't really been used to with modern Mega Construx sets. and hopefully is something that's already been rectified in the production line. When it comes to the weapons for the Brute Warrior and the Spartan Anubis, the Brute Warrior gets a shock rifle in black, which is the first time I've received one in black, and I do prefer it in black. I prefer my weapons in black than grey. And then the Spartan Anubis gets the assault rifle in black, which we have seen before, and does come with a scope attachment for the top rail. Moving on to the Ghost itself. It's an incredibly simple build using not very many pieces at all, but that doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it good either. I must confess that from when I first saw pictures of this Ghost, I did have reservations about whether I would like it or not, and most of them came from the new piece that they've created for the main body or the hood of the Ghost. I was completely unsure about it. Now that I've built it, that's one of the bits I actually like the most. Now I've had it in hand, it's amazing how well that silver armoured piece on the front fits in. It is absolutely perfect, so snug. And the piece on the top as well just marries to the red part so well. I'm not sure why there's a choice of places that you can put it. It doesn't fit as well further down as it does at the top. So I'm unsure as to whether this piece is planned to be used on other sets as well, where they can put other pieces into those holes. As the Ghost rotates, without a doubt, its best angle to view from is the front. As the Ghost faces you head on, it does look very nice and very well finished, and that's the bit that really surprised me. I think they've really nailed the look of the Ghost from the front. Unfortunately, it's as you come round to the side and the rear that, for me personally, it looks a little bit unfinished. Now, granted, we haven't seen these Ghosts in game yet, so I can't say whether they've just done what it looks like in the game, but whenever they leave exposed studs, like on the seated area and just to the sides of the main bonnet section or hood section of the Ghost, you can see exposed studs there, both above and below. Now, those two areas for me look like they're just slightly unfinished. Also, the fact that there's a complete lack of any kind of console or sloped piece above the steering, that looks slightly unfinished too. And as for the silver domed pieces on the side, on past Ghosts, they've had printed detail on there. But again, we haven't seen in game, maybe they are just plain silver, so I can't really knock that for it. One thing I was surprised about was the sloped pieces on the wings are actually printed pieces. I didn't pick that up from the pictures, so that was a nice touch. It's always nice to get printed pieces, and they'll come in very handy for mock making. You've also got the yellow painted details on the hood section as well. In regards to the play function for this set, you've got the twin launchers on the front, which can be activated by simply pushing down on the top of the Ghost, and it pushes the two buttons down underneath. So as you load it down, they come out, never to be seen again. So that's a neat little feature, and it does work very well. Thankfully, it comes with 4 spare projectiles, so if you do lose some, you still get to have another go. So to summarise my thoughts on this set, I'm pleasantly surprised by the Ghost. I feel a lot more positive about it now than I did before I opened the box. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do, even though I feel it's slightly unfinished, but I don't see that as an issue because you guys know I like to modify things anyway. So I'm sure I'll add my own touch to it and maybe release a video showing you how I've changed it. As for the figures, even though yes, I've got a few complaints about some of the quality control issues, I'm not disappointed with the figures, and I would still buy more sets. I bought 2 of these and I'll happily buy more, and for $14, who can complain about 4 figures and a Ghost? It's fantastic value. Just before I sign off, I just want to remind you guys that a lot of people ask me how they can support the channel. The best way for you to support the channel is to use my Amazon links. If you are thinking of buying any of these sets or anything else, anytime you use one of my links in my video description to go through to Amazon, if you buy anything, I will receive a small commission on it. And all those commissions add up, which eventually allow me to buy more sets so I can make more content for you guys. So you help me, help you. And that's just about it for this review, so I hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to leave your comments on my thoughts below. So I'm sure I'll see you again soon. So until then, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.